So, welcome everyone, Idiot Seeking Village. That's Adam, I'm Rich, and we are continuing with a positive angle on this past week's good news. Information. You want to get started?
You can find that somewhere?
Adam, it is Christmas Eve. Christmas is the time of miracles. Of course we can find good news. And I think this is, how we should focus our energies right before the Saturnalia festivities commence.
Wait, who's like retired, resigned, or died?
Look, it's positive news for us. It doesn't necessarily mean it's positive news and information for the people whom it's affecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And us as in you and me in the general sense, or us as in America, or us?
The people.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to...
Adam, we are nothing if not men of the people.
I think so. That sounds about right.
Yeah, absolutely. Adam, again, we got to celebrate. Anything you want to kind of touch on before we kind of go through? I've got a couple of fun little heart warmers. This should be a pretty quick one, though.
Not really. I'm just dying to know what heart warmers there are. I'm excited about something joyful during this holiday season.
All right. Well, in that case, I'll start right off. This past Tuesday...
Found a penny on the street. And since they don't make those anymore, that was a great day.
Well, technically, this was picking up money. Portland, Oregon area strippers have been running a charity event called Tatas for Toys. And this past Tuesday, they held their 15th annual event. They raised over $60,000 in donations to support the Dorn Becker Children's Hospital Child Life Program, which supports children who are sick and hospitalized. And including some of the participants were former patients of the hospital. So $60,000, they've raised over $250,000 over the course of the 15 years. So this was a record-breaking year for them. So America's strippers, bringing joy this holiday season to children everywhere.
Wow. Not just to adults and men, but to children as well. Oh, that's touching. No, not touching. Not touching.
Gotta watch your language, Adam.
Yes, no touching.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. Tatas for toys.
Tatas for toys.
I'm very curious to know, how do they say who's giving it to them, and how because usually the charity, like, oh, who's so wonderful to give us these toys? Oh, Tatas for toys. What is a Tata? And then do you tell the children like where it's coming from?
I'm sure they do. I mean, it's strippers, burlesque performers, there's dancing, there's live music, there's comic shows like skits,
Okay,
there's auctions.
Gotcha.
It's a whole above board
so it's not just like
performance.
boobs. It's more than that. It's more tasteful. It's not just what I'm thinking of, a strip club type situation. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm down.
The foundation, of course, is the strippers, right? And they're kind of running it themselves, but overall,
We should have our own version. Remember, like, what was it called? Puppetry of the penis. That's what we should do that for our charity next year.
I was gonna say hard pass, but no, just pass.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Always shooting my ideas down. I thought they were really good.
You know what? Why don't we take that one offline? We'll workshop it. We'll come up with something. We first and foremost, we got to figure out the logistics of getting a lobbyist to stand up for the American people in the halls of Congress. Let's start with that one, and then we'll work on puppetry of the penis.
All right, fair enough. But it might be easier for me to stand up. But okay.
Jesus. Positive, somewhat local news. Elise Stefanik, Congresswoman from New York, and ever since 2019 and the impeachment proceedings, a huge MAGA Trumper, though she wasn't necessarily originally when she ran for Congress for the first time back in 2016, 2017, has dropped out of the New York governor's race, and she will also not run for re-election to the House. So not only a single win, but a double win for New Yorkers. And in a sense, the country
There's the
everywhere.
resigning. There's the resigning. Good news. I knew there was going to be some kind of resigning or retiring type thing in there.
Yes, there's. I mean, this is part of a string of recent high-profile shit talking and or resignations in and around the MAGA universe.
Makes sense. I mean, they're eating each other up alive right now, so especially after that Turning Point USA conference, and it's like how racist and how ultra white can you be now? That's the new thing now.
I think the answer to that is really freaking ultra white.
That's where I don't know where Candace Owens stands into this. I mean, I guess if there's a level that if you hate Jews enough, you by default become white Nazi. I'm not really sure how that works out, but
You have to think about white supremacy is less about race and more about culture. And so that's where people like Candace Owens, guys like Enrique Tarrio, who's the head of the Proud Boys, and that's a very Hispanic man who's heading up a very white supremacist group. But there's that sheriff, that black sheriff, not Arpaio, but the other one, suddenly blanking his name, who's a huge MAGA Trumper. Also, it's not about you are a black person, a white person, a Hispanic person, Asian person. It's culturally, do you align with this? Ultimately, right? And look, tokens get spent. They're useful to the movement and they're tolerated to a point, but you look at any movement like this in history, and ultimately these people, they get purged. They outlive their usefulness and they get thrown out. We're seeing a little bit of that in the broader magosphere at the moment, as you mentioned, but
I like the idea of they're tokens and they get spent.
that's right. Tokens get spent, buddy. That's what they're for.
I like it.
Yeah. So, yeah, Stefanik gone. Happy trails.
Well, that's
Hope
what
to
happens
not.
when you sell your soul and get nothing in return, and you left nothing.
Yeah, she does have a book coming out next year. So, unlike MTG, we've got a little bit more concrete information about how she's going to make money going forward. But who knows?
Buying that book.
I'm sure it'll make the rounds. It's about criticizing Ivy League universities. So that whole,
so well.
yeah, exactly. It's all about the whole universities are woke and all that sort of stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what comes up with that. Also, there was a gentleman who, during an ICE raid in Los Angeles this past summer, towed one of the ICE vehicles while it was parked in the middle of the raid, and it was running. Bobby Nunez, a 33-year-old tow truck driver, was arrested. He was charged. He was tried. There was a lot of shit talking from the U.S. attorney, who's like, you can laugh from behind bars. 4-day trial, 3-hour deliberation, not guilty on all counts. So he walks free.
Was the car illegally parked? And he's like, "Hey, I just doing my
Basically,
job."
yeah, it was. There's video online. It's easy to see. It's the lights are on. They're flashing. There's actually 2 vehicles there, and you can see just there's like a chaotic arrest that's happening in a garage or warehouse right next to it, and then suddenly you just see him towing the thing away, and some agents are just running after, like, hey. Our justice system at the moment continues to exonerate people, as we saw with Letitia James and James Comey, where their indictments completely fell apart. And the old adage of a prosecutor could indict a ham sandwich is starting to fall apart at this point. I think one of the 2 last things I want to touch on, not only did Jake Paul get his ass kicked in a boxing match, televised boxing match, this past weekend, so did Andrew Tate. So misogyny and just generally influencer culture quite literally took it on the chin twice.
So who beat up Tate? He was actually another influencer?
Yeah, Chase Demore, who's a reality TV guy. I'm double checking on a show called, it was a Netflix show called Too Hot to Handle.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was interesting because Demore, I think, has got like 6 inches in height and like 45 pounds on Tate. So it was just an absolutely stupid matchup to begin with.
And he's also a lot younger because.
And he's like 10
Tate.
years younger. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
weird.
beauty of it is,
I
of
will
course-
say this for Tate because I
Yeah.
heard his talk afterwards, and even though he's obnoxious when he's talking, just the way he talks, but he was fairly cordial to this guy. He's like, "I got my butt whipped. I'm not going to come up with excuses. I lost, and I'm not what I used to be. 40 years old, I can't do what I used to do, and I fair and square got my butt whooped, basically." And I was like, "All right, good for him. He could at least say that much."
maybe all of these charges of sex trafficking and slavery and all that sort of stuff. Let's see. Let me just confirm that. Yeah, he was charged in
Softened
the
him over the
UK,
time?
but they have been dropped. Several counts of rape, assault, and trafficking. But I believe he still has the legal action against him in Romania. It's still going on. Yeah, that's the thing, right? He built part of his persona and his mystique as being two things. One, a chess prodigy, which is hilarious. And then two, being this undefeatable kickboxer. Like he's just this vision of man and all this. And the thing about it is he's built his record, and I believe it's 76 kickboxing victories, 9 defeats, and 1 draw. But he's never actually fought anyone ranked or meaningful in all of those fights for the most part. It's all bullshit, right? It's like going and as an adult, like a black belt, and going and beating up your kids in an introductory karate class, right? It's
Yeah,
not
Rocky.
you're not exactly challenging yourself for the most part. So, but now he's 0-1 in professional boxing.
Oh,
So yeah.
that's-
Anyway,
that's
like I said,
funny.
Manosphere jackasses getting their ass kicked. Maybe they need to get some testosterone prescriptions or something.
Oh, I'm sure they're on it for sure. But I mean, look, you're 40. What are you expecting at this point in life? You're gonna, unless you're gonna fight other, like there's gonna be an old circuit. So I'm sure there's gonna be an old over the hill boxing circuit at some point. They're just looking for paydays, and he's probably looking at Jake Paul making fucking stupid amounts of money, barely being able to fight at all. Why not get to be a part of that? To me, it makes a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
sense.
also under the surface, this group Misfits Boxing, which hosted and what is it's not producing the match. They're the promoters, right, of the match. He apparently he's the new chief executive of it. So this was to your question, what is he doing as a nearly 40-year-old man fighting a 29-year-old? The dude's doing this for attention and clout, just like everything else is done these days.
And lots of money.
And apparently a shitload of money. Yeah.
Well, especially if you're telling me like all my cam rooms and all my sex trafficking days are over, I got to find a way to make a buck. So let me,
Yeah.
get my ass kicked a little bit and make a ton of money.
I can't enslave and sex traffic Eastern European women anymore and make money off of them, so I have to actually get a real job like boxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what else is he really qualified to do? Teach those man classes again?
Yeah.
Hustler Club or whatever he calls it?
Hustler University,
University.
I believe is
Oh,
what it's called.
God.
Yeah, exactly. So good to see him bloodied and beaten, and as well as Jake Paul this weekend. And then last but not least, again, positive news, positive note. I found this little heartwarming story. It circulated a little bit online. I don't know how many people saw it, but Zohran Mamdani, right, is going to be taking over as mayor of New York City on January 1st, so about a week from now. And I found this story of the background, his father's background. It's actually a very long piece, but I wanted to share this one with you, Adam. I don't know if you had heard this, but he had been involved in some demonstrations and whatnot during the civil rights era. And after some shenanigans back and forth, he was back in his room. And I'm going to read this.
This is Mamdani.
This is Mahmoud Mamdani, his father.
Oh, his father. Okay. I was
His
gonna say,
father.
Civil
Yeah,
rights.
yeah,
What
so-
the hell?
Yeah, exactly. So he was, he was socially conscious and all that, whatever you want to call it. So One night they let you make one phone call. I called the Ugandan ambassador in Washington, D.C., talked to him, and he said, "What are you doing interfering in the affairs of a foreign country?" This is relating to marching. And I said, "What? We just got our independence. This is the same struggle. Have you forgotten?" Anyway, he got me out of trouble, out of jail. 2 or 3 weeks later, I was in my room. There was a knock at the door. 2 gentlemen in trench coats and hats said FBI. I thought, wow, just like on television. They sat down. They were there to find out why I had gone, because this turned out to be big. It is after Montgomery that King organized his march on Selma. They wanted to know who had influenced me. After 1 hour of probing, the guy said, "Do you like Marx?" Mamdani says, "I haven't met him." FBI guy says, No, he's dead." "Wow, what happened?" No, he died long ago." I thought the guy Marx had just died. So then, well, why are you asking me about him if he died long ago? FBI guy goes, "No, he wrote a lot. He wrote that poor people should not be poor." Mamdani replies, "Sounds amazing." Anyway, after they left, I went to the library to look for Marx. So that was my introduction to Karl Marx. How amazing is this? Is that in the long history of the FBI, COINTELPRO, right, all the CIA shenanigans and overthrowing democratically elected leftist governments all around the world, they managed to be the ones to introduce Zohran Mamdani's dad to Karl Marx, and which brings us to the Democratic Socialist mayor of New York City getting inaugurated in 1 week's time from now. What a world we live in.
Crazy. This shows you how so many things are connected and intertwined. Who's Marx?
It reads like a Three Stooges or whatever, right? Kind of skit.
Oh, Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello. Yep.
Who's
Abbott
on first?
Yep. It's incredible. I saw that one. It just made me smile.
You know, at the end of the day, it just really shows you how, as a species, we are so intertwined. And we just try to find always the littlest things to divide us, when we have so much in common and so many things that connect us all. And we just keep denying that fact. And here is just an interview, a strange interview with somebody who believes in something. All of a sudden, is like, this guy sounds interesting. He's been dead for a while. Let me go check him out. Amazing.
It's incredible. So, yeah. I think, Adam, one thing we haven't done, we're at the end here. I think we want to wish everyone, whether you're celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, Yule, Saturnalia, or something else that I haven't even thought of or am not aware of off the top of my head. Wish everyone just
Festivus?
a happy... Did I not say Festivus? I said Festivus.
I don't. Did you? Did you?
I thought I did. I meant to.
You probably did.
It was in my... I was thinking about it. Wish everyone a joyous holiday season, and if you celebrate Festivus, an effective and vibrant airing of grievances.
I wish the same thing, unless you've been redacted from the Epstein list and you're not a victim. I do not wish good things upon you.
Oh, interesting note on that one that you bring that up. So I've been digging a little bit on these latest files. So I don't know how well you know this, right? But obviously the files were redacted. Mm-hmm. Redaction, when it comes to digital files, is not just black highlighter. It actually is supposed to basically remove the underlying text.
Okay.
So I remember during Trump's first term, there was some documents that were released. I think it was around a civil case that he was involved in. And the documents basically had been redacted with what was the digital equivalent of black highlighter. They weren't actually redacted. The data underneath wasn't removed and anonymized and scrambled or whatever the redaction is supposed to digitally do. So people could unredact the document easily. There's a bunch of people online who are digging through these things, and they found that if they copy and paste these things, they can actually start to piece together what's under the redaction. So it looks like whatever the DOJ did to redact these files before releasing isn't actual redaction. So they're actually starting to uncover what seems to be a lot of the names and the associates and everything hidden and the links between them. I've not had a lot of time to dig in on the veracity of this and the effectiveness and all that sort of stuff, but it seems like these folks who are studying this, there's a couple of groups online who are kind of crowdsourcing this information because it takes a lot of copying and pasting of the individual sections to undo it, but they're uncovering the names. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but it's an interesting development. But if it really is true that they just lazily redacted this shit with the equivalent of black highlighter and not actually redacted and destroyed the underlying information, that is a massive fuck up.
Well, when you say that, like, they can't destroy the originals, right? Just what they released.
Just what's released. Just what's released,
Okay.
yeah. The redacted version, you should not be able to suss out
Right,
what
of course.
is underneath, right?
I'm just making sure that it's not, the originals are not, like, also destroyed.
Yeah, exactly.
That's, well, when you're incompetent and everybody leaves who's competent, because you don't want those competent people, because you want to do all kinds of your shady shit. Hopefully this really blows up in their face in a wonderful way, but I'm sure other people who don't deserve it will also get hurt.
It's something you and I talked about weeks ago, briefly, right? Is ultimately, these people are, the people who are in charge, these people who want to do bad in the world, they're not competent. And the tragic thing is that people who are trying to do good are only maybe slightly more competent. Or it's just, people trying to do bad in the world are just incompetent enough to not actually break through the processes and systems and you really truly destroy them. So we'll see. But it gives me a little bit of hope in this holiday season.
Yeah, I mean, this could be incredibly damaging to this DOJ.
If they just accidentally, made everything visible, that wouldn't be good.
You worked how long to do this and fucked it up somehow? But you know what? There's a part of me that, from a lot of these incompetent things, and I do believe they're incompetent to some extent, but some parts of me want to believe that there's like a few people in there who are like, I'm going to just grin and bear it, but I'm going to, every opportunity I could take, I'm going to try to like fuck something up to like leak some shit out.
Yeah,
And
could be.
And like, hey, it's like, it's just some gross incompetence from everybody here, it seems.
Look, this administration definitely
lots to fall back on.
This administration definitely has its own share of, their own deep throat, right? Yeah, who was that? That was the deputy director of the FBI, who was the informant in Watergate, if I recall correctly.
Oh, that was like a final. I can't even remember if that was like a. But you're probably right.
Yeah, I'm just double checking it right now. Mark Felt, who was he was in the second associate director of the FBI.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be people who are staying who are just like, I gotta toe the line, make them think I'm one of them, but leak the truth out. And just play stupid. Because, everybody else here does, so why can't I? I'll fit right in.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, you got FBI, Director Patel, like being on the scene every minute of the day with something that's going to be put him on social media. He fucking does stupid shit. We got the guy. Oh, no, we don't have the guy. We shouldn't have done what we did. Whoops. Some truth comes out. It's fantastic.
For sure. All right.
Idiots Seeking Village is a production of Village Idiots Media. For more, find us online at villageidiotsmedia.com or find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon, and wherever you get podcasts.